In order to get this model now ready for animation, we need to set the axes properly on all the moving parts. First, we disable the Use as Wire Color option. As you can see, this lets us know which part is selected much more easily. Now, we be sure to glue our arms and hands together like this. Also, the legs and feet need to be glued together. Since everything in the middle will be moving as one, we glue everything in the middle to the midsection. This includes the buttons and the collar. We also have to be sure everything is glued to the head, but we did this in the last step, as you can see here. Now that everything is glued, we need to start setting the axes. We'll be using the Move Axes to Center of Object tool, which is very useful. When the tool is clicked on, the axes appear. Pressing delete on your keyboard hides them. For the arms, move the axes here to the shoulder joint. You'll notice in this arm, the axes are rotated off to one side. You can fix this by using normalized rotation on them. This brings them to the right rotation. Now just move it to the right spot like this. We're also going to use normalized rotation on the axes for the legs. If you'll notice, the axes for the legs are facing downwards, but we want them to face upwards. Normalized rotation fixes the problem. For the head, we have to be sure that the axes are down in the neck area, somewhere within the collar. We'll use the left view to make sure we position them properly. Once all the axes have been set, we need to go ahead and glue all the parts of this character together. We're going to start with the torso, and we're going to use glue as sibling and glue all the parts to it. Once all the parts have been glued together, all that's left to be done is to color the individual parts. This is easier in one of the solid display modes. We click on the material editor, and we bring out the options, closing the unneeded panels. You'll see that it's very easy to color the character. Simply select the color you want, drag it and let it go over the part that you want to have colored. As you can see, we're quickly coloring this character simply by dragging the mouse. Any of the solid or semi-transparent views that TrueSpace has to offer is excellent for this, because you can see the changes as you make them to the character. If you were in wireframe mode, you wouldn't be able to see the change immediately. You'd have to render the scene in order to see the changes. This may lead to errors, because you might accidentally color the wrong part of a character, and you wouldn't know until the very end. I'm not sure about you, but the skin color is always the hardest one for me to get just right. Many times I end up with a color too dark, or a color too light, so I end up changing it very often. In order to arrive at all the colors you see here, I did an internet search for Stan, and found a few pictures of him. This is a very easy way to arrive at all the colors for a character, especially when he's well known. When you finish coloring all the individual parts, it's always good to do a quick test render. You might catch small mistakes here. Now we zoom out so you can see the entire character. And as you can tell from the test render, Stan is now completely colored.